felt a lot of women refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money and whatever else you bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of new.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AstroWorld. And we finally made it online. This is definitely, I haven't done the running of the show in months. I guess I've been spoiled with Jason doing it,
Right.
and had a little bumps in the roads. So I apologize about the lateness. And let's see. I just want to make sure that this is all working here. And yeah, all right, good. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess it's working. We got audio, guys. Just let us know. Eddie, how you
Hey Eddie,
doing?
how you doing, man?
Scott, both Scotts. This is Scott Cole. Scott's my new buddy out there. He's just getting into astrophotography.
Nice, good for
Uh,
good, good.
yeah, so he's going through the trials and tribulations.
Okay.
Um, But let's see, what do we got? What do we got going on? So we got, um,
So
just as far as guests are concerned, we had to move up um, Stacy Downton. She's going to be a little bit towards later of the month.
okay,
She's actually going on a holiday.
nice.
Not really sure where she's going, but
Okay.
we'll see. And we got Scott Nielsen, Sean Nielsen
Sean
coming up
Nielsen,
from Visible Dark.
yep.
We got Scott Roberts coming on from Explore Scientific.
Cool.
I believe that's going to be in October. And I'm missing one. Who am I missing? I think the return of Tom Bramwell. I think
Yeah.
from the messed up version that we had the other night. So we got some stuff going on, and I figure, I know Eric let it drop last week, but the website is coming through very well.
Good.
And hopefully I'm looking at probably, I want to say, go live by the end of the month.
Okay.
So it's looking really good. And my friend Chris Spoyle is helping me out. He's a web designer slash computer guru, so he's helping me out quite a bit, and he's doing some stuff with WordPress and whatever. I know nothing about that stuff. So so um so tonight we're gonna be going about we're gonna talk about. So I know you've been doing some awesome stuff with the L Extreme.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've been doing some stuff. I can do L Extreme, but I guess it'd be kind of useless. But with a monochrome camera.
Right, right.
But so tell us what you've been doing, because you got a couple of good videos out there about the L Extreme, and I've been seeing stuff all over the net about it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It is the hot filter, right now, especially for our one-shot color camera imagers. It is Optolong's latest multi-band filter. It is it's just been, for me, one word, it's awesome. It's been awesome. It is a 7 nanometer dual band. It runs it filters out everything but hydrogen alpha and O3. So like with the L enhance, it was hydrogen alpha, hydrogen beta in O3. So they took the hydrogen beta out and made it strictly HA and O3 at 7 nanometers. And I have used this on my refractor, and you can use it on the Rasa. So yeah, and because I believe seven nanometers is the maybe the limit as far as how narrow you can get with an F2 setup before you start seeing certain issues. So it's been so for me, it's been great. I posted a few images out there that I've been doing. I did the Tulip Nebula, for that, and I did the Lion Nebula, which
Yes,
is one
yes,
that not a lot of people have heard of. It's in the Sharpless 2 catalog, and
sure.
I believe it's in Cepheus.
Yep.
And it's got a lot of great hydrogen and oxygen out there. I My first shot of it, I didn't do star reduction, so I went back in and did star reduction because a couple of folks commented how dense the star field is, and it is a really dense star field. So I did some pretty significant reduction in PI and to get that under control. And I'll be honest, I'm starting to get a little bit of the hang ever since I did that that conference or go to meeting with the Masters of Pix Insight. I've been starting to do a little bit more in PI than I used to. I'm still using AstroPixel processor quite heavily, but I'm getting more used to using PI. Like I said, I just did it for star reduction, learning, star mask, all these different things. But one thing that I will say that I haven't, I've tried to do a HA, an HOO, or an SHO palette using the L Extreme on RASA data. And
wow. All right, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm having a bit of a struggle. Excuse me, because I think I can't confirm this because I'm going to do some more imaging tomorrow. But what I've been getting out of it, it looks like there's some shifting, some band shifting. So it doesn't look as good as I expected it to. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board and gather some more data because I was working on the Soul Nebula. And as far as for my regular one-shot color natural image, it turned out pretty good, full of hydrogen. I mean, this sucker is full of hydrogen. But doing the SHO, I had a bit of some trouble. And a good friend of mine, Dr. Mike Shapiro, yeah, he actually he's using the L enhance. He doesn't have the L extreme, I don't believe. But he just put out his SHO version of the Soul Nebula using the STC dual band, I believe. He has the STC dual band. And if you haven't seen it on Facebook yet, look him up. This, for me personally, it looks amazing. So I really want to, and I don't think he has a RASA. I think he's using a refractor. But I think why I can't get it going with the SHO is because of the band pass, because it's so narrow. I think it's shifting.
Wow.
So I'm going to try it again and check it out. But for anything else, I mean, it is so incredible to have something. I've never had a filter with this tight of a narrow band pass. I mean, it is incredible. And the focus, oh my God, it took me, usually it would take me with the ASI or Pro, it would take me about 10 seconds to do a plate solve and anything like that. It took me about 30 seconds off of this time to do a plate solve. And
because the weight, the band pass is so narrow.
Yeah, the band pass is so narrow. Yeah, it's really extend that exposure. Even getting into focus, I mean, I had to actually go to Deneb and do this, and it was challenging, but I got it done, and now we'll just see. So it's I'm just looking forward to checking everything out, and I'm sure it'll be fine once I figure a lot of stuff out here. But the L Enhance is great. The L Extreme even better. I would actually say it's a game changing, especially for a one-shot color imager. It's a game changer. So if you haven't had a chance to grab it yet, I would recommend checking it out. I mean, there are several videos out there on YouTube with people who have used the L Extreme, and the results they've gotten out of it have been amazing. So
Yeah, they've been really, really, really good.
it's been really, really good. So it is basically now. Right now, I'm feeling that it's going to end up being my narrowband filter for all my one-shot color work. I mean, I'm probably
Yeah.
going to, do away with everything else until I can probably afford to get maybe the Beta F2s,
Okay.
the high speeds. But for
Yep.
right
Yep.
now, this one is awesome. So I'm looking forward. I'm going to do some more work on it, do some videos with me using it and showing some
The
my
results.
work on some of my results.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. This is a fun filter to use, and I think everybody who's getting it, they're really enjoying it. So
Yeah, because we know of the travesty that happened with the telescope that dropped in the focuser.
yeah.
Well, the focuser came back.
Okay.
So I got the focuser fixed for free.
Okay.
So it was saved. So I'm hoping that if I get this guy rolling with the Newtonian,
Right.
I could pop in the L Extreme or the L. Well, right now I just have the L Enhanced, but
Yeah.
I'm getting the L Extreme, and,
Okay.
and that will be my first one-shot color image
There you go.
in probably about 15 years.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
been a while, man.
Yeah, I've been strictly mono camera.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I've been doing I just finished all the data gathering on the Pelican Nebula, so I got SHO on it all.
Yep.
And now I'm stuck. I'm doing a North American Nebula.
Okay.
I really like the way it looks strictly H alpha. I really do. I like the give it the red and be done with it.
Yeah.
But I also saw some stuff on AstroBin and a Hubble palette, and it looks kind of cool. You got it's got the little gold on the side and a little blue, and it looks kind of. So I'm wondering if I should just. And I gotta tell you, putting the Pure up in the backyard, getting 7 or 6 hours a night or more, and going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm finishing images in a week as opposed to months.
Yeah.
And it's so much. Oh my god! And I put my friend Mike, who's an APOD guy. My friend Mike gave me a link to a motion sensor in the back.
Okay.
That won't affect. I guess it's not like infrared kind of. It's kind of something, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it works. So I have 2 of them set up. So if anyone goes near the telescope, it beeps up in my bedroom.
Okay.
And so I'll get an alarm if anyone goes near it.
Nice.
So
Warning!
no one's stealing my telescope.
Oh man.
So I mean that's gonna be awesome. So I'm kind of at a crux on whether to just go strictly H alpha.
Yeah.
Or just shoot the Hubble palette for the 7000.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You-
So what? You know what? I'll send it out to like the 4 people watching. That how many people we got? No, we got more than that.
how many we got?
We got 8. We got double that.
Okay. Cool.
so we got 8 people watching. So let me know what you guys want to see, and that's what I'll do. How about that?
There you go.
I'll do either Hubble palette or H alpha by itself. One black and white, one color, whatever.
Right.
We got some comments going on. Scott's so happy about his 14. He's got a 14 edge.
Oh, nice.
And yeah,
Big
it's gonna
boy.
be crazy. He's got a 14 edge. He's just starting in astrophotography. Scott, you're gonna go nuts.
Oh man.
And you know how much we love on this show. We love our SCTs.
Dude. I hope you
But,
got a really good off-axis guider.
Actually, he's working on. I'm trying to remember if he's doing an off-axis guide. I think he's got a guide scope on there.
Okay.
But
You might want to
I'm
get
trying
that
to.
OAG.
Yeah, especially with the long focal length. I think we were talking about off-axis guiders, especially with that focal length. It's gonna be
It's gonna be tough.
He just said he's got both.
Okay. Okay.
I think he's got. I want to say he's got the Williams 61 as a guide scope.
Okay. Okay.
So I think if I'm Scott, if I'm mixing you up with another person, I apologize because I have gotten so many text messages this week. It's been incredible. But yep, no, he confirmed he's got the 61. It's awesome. Oh well, she's moving outside. Thank you, thank you. I was gonna close the camera, but she decided to show herself on camera, and now she's closing the door.
Let's go in the door.
So, cheers. Oh, so we just got a new subscriber, Al Fend, just subscribed to the channel. Thank you. Welcome to the team. And Al, if you don't know about what we kind of do here is we do talk a lot about astrophotography, but if you decide that you want to come on the show and you want to share what you have, send us a link, send us an email, send us whatever. We'll have you on the show, and you could show and ask questions and whatever you need. So it's very open. It's just not the we're missing a third of us tonight. We got missing Jason tonight.
Yep.
So Jason is working in Miami, doing an event. So we wish Jason safe travels and good luck. So keep it rolling.
Yep. Well, so I'm happy for him that he's busy and he's working, because I know that.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of rough for a while, but now I think he's got I think his. I'm hoping that his area of expertise is going to be opening up more and more.
Yeah.
As long as we do it right.
Yep. Exactly. So and besides that, what else have you been up to? As you take
sorry. Well, I may as well just say it. So I do have a little bit of a funny video to show.
Okay.
So we're doing I've been doing the Pelican Nebula.
Yep.
And I started to put the video together. And in all fairness, some of the video I was using a new camera so the video is kind of wacky in some of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it does come out, guys, please forgive me. Some of the stuff is really out of whack, and it's not up to par what I usually put out. but I'll show you what I found. So in and out, I was recording my screen, and I had another camera outside. So I was going to go outside and videotape the Meridian flip.
Okay.
So I went outside, and I came back inside because I forgot my microphone. So my microphone was over here. So you'll see my socks with flip flops come in, and let's see if I can get this. Let's see, remote desktop. There we go. Yeah. So I'll show you this real quick. So I left, and my dog is very sneaky. my dog is very sneaky. So when you see this, watch the dog walk in, walk out, and wait for me to walk out, and then come back in. So. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, she literally waited for me to get out so she could go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
But I didn't see that until I started recapping the video. I said, Jen, look at this. But yeah, I mean, you know, so there's some outtakes like that. Jason, Jason logged on. He's watching. Sorry,
okay.
Judy called after a 6 months forced work break. Scott Cole wants to know what potential problems or benefits can you see with the quad band with a crop sensor, one-shot color.
Which quad band are you referring to?
I believe he's talking about the Opt quad, the OPT.
The Radiant Triad.
Yeah, yeah, but they came out with a 4-band.
Yeah, they did. Right. They did. Because I've got the Altair. Excuse me. I've got the Altair Astro quad band. And I haven't really had any problems with it the few times that I've actually used it. But I don't know. I don't see what size is it? What's that?
I believe it's a 2-inch.
If it's a 2-inch, you shouldn't have any problem.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any
problem like with vignetting or anything. You should be fine.
No, if you were down to like 1 1/4, then I'd
then you would see some significant vignetting.
Yeah, exactly. So you would definitely start seeing like the outsides and the corners kind of freaking out on you.
Yeah. So Scott, I think you're going to be fine with the 2-inch Triad. You should have some good images.
Yeah, the 2 inches got plenty of real estate to cover up a crop sensor.
Yeah, with the crop sensor, you should be totally fine.
I would say even with a full frame, you should be fine.
Yeah,
not a problem. But that's gonna be Scott. You're gonna go nuts, man. Scott's gonna go nuts.
Yeah,
he's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if anybody had actually had a chance to see. Because I have my own channel as well, Astro with Eric, and I was having some fun. I don't know if you had a chance to see it yourself.
I did.
With my
kid.
did.
the dinner, you know what? And I really wanted to see when you do the lion nebula. I hope he has a lion hand.
Yeah.
You know, instead of a shark hand, he's gonna have a lion hand on his hand.
You know, people have been actually been suggesting that maybe I should let him direct while I'm and do it and hold the camera.
I saw the comments. Yeah,
while I do the video. So
absolutely.
He's a smart aleck.
Oh yeah, he's a character, man. It's great.
He is.
Let's see. Great about the full frame sensor. You shouldn't. Yep.
Yeah, with full frame, you should be okay as well.
Yeah, Jason chimed in. But yeah, so I'm working on the horse head, and not the horse head, the NGC 7000, the North America.
North America.
Try and finish that up. I want to say this weekend because let me tell you something. Remember the lady I was helping with? She got the 100 Esprit, and she got all this rig together, and she's never taken a picture.
Yeah.
She's a photographer in the city, and we finally got to take a picture last week.
Okay, finally.
16 months later, we take our first 1-minute shots of the Andromeda Galaxy.
Okay.
So we took 16 1-minute shots, and I had her send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'll show it to you. I mean, for 16 minutes, unguided with a DSLR.
Yeah.
And I did very, very little processing on this. You'll see the lines in this. No lights, a couple of darks, no flats. I'm sorry, no flats, a couple of darks, no bias.
Yep.
But let me see if I can find it real quick for you. It's kind of where's it? Astrometric upload. Bam, bam. And you know what? And she's ecstatic about it. I mean, she's thinking about the future of what they could possibly get after you get hours of data.
Yep.
And so she's taking it to taking it with a grain of salt because there definitely is artifacts in there and you'll see them.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if this is their first time actually doing something,
Yeah, this is the first time unguided.
Yeah.
No flats, no nothing. 16 1-minute unguided shots.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
And I gotta fix something real quick before we go over because there was no audio on the last time when we showed the dog. So, let's see that one. And where's Eric Watson? There he is. Bam. All right, so we're gonna switch that over. And I'm getting the hang of this again.
Okay.
All right.
It's like riding a bike, man. Eventually, you're gonna get back into it.
Yeah, I gotta switch it on over, and we're gonna go back. Okay, so there it is.
Okay.
Okay, so now that's 16 1-minute shots. Now you can see dust mode, dust mode. This nice line going across here. Another line up here. Another line down there.
Were there any calibration frames done?
Just darks.
See, well then, yeah. I mean, that
Just
would have
darks.
probably also probably calibrated it all out with flat.
Oh yeah, definitely would have.
So no.
Definitely would have been. This was a little DBE. No noise reduction at all was done on this photo.
Sure.
But it was just a DBE, and I think I moved curves a little bit to tone down the core a little bit. But other than that, that's it. But I mean, she was ecstatic about it. She was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, if you take a look at the 1-minute shot.
Yeah.
No, it's a good shot.
It's a good shot.
It is a good shot.
That's a good shot for for just 16 minutes.
Yeah. And if this ever loads up, this is the 1-minute shot loading up. There you go. That's the 1-minute shot. That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think that's that's totally fine.
Yeah, and that's with the Canon 5D Mark IV on a 100 Esprit.
Okay. No, that's good.
No, it's really good. I liked it. I was like, if she put 2 hours into that,
mm-hmm. Then it would,
awesome.
And if she, if she did all the calibration frames and she put a little more time into that would have came out awesome. And I mean, M31 is one of those targets where you cut your teeth on those. These are the ones you cut your teeth on.
That's the one in the summer and M42 in the winter.
M42 in the winter. I mean, so no, this if she's just getting into this, no, kudos.
That's her first picture with me. She did it with me.
Okay.
But this was the woman that had the eagle that I had to send back to get redone.
Mm-hmm.
And it got done. We had to load up everything back up again. We had to make sure we had all the drivers and everything all over again. And finally we got it rolling. And then I was like, all right, let's just take it out. Let's take a picture. So I didn't get home till like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But Jay wants to know what caused the lines. Jay, I'm not really sure yet. It could be just some random rows that are kind of messed up that could be taken out with either a bad pixel rejection map or it could be just something that from my because listen, I really didn't know processing on that. So again, it was just a DBE and a slight curve issue, and that's all I did. By the way, I have been using Topaz Labs denoise with my other work, and it's awesome.
I haven't tried Topaz Labs.
I have. I took the 30-day trial.
Okay.
And I'd rather MLT or the regular just denoising right from PixInsight.
Okay.
Topaz Labs is really, really, really awesome with people and landscape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you start bringing that in and you're trying to mask stars and save the stars and do the background, it's a little flaky in my judgment.
Scott was just asking, I welcome some suggestions of targets for quad band narrow. He's shooting with a Hyperstar just shy of 700 millimeters.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same C14 with a Hyperstar.
Okay, so it was 700 millimeters. There are a few that I would recommend. The Tulip Nebula. I think
You
can
just
get
finished that one.
Yeah, I just imaged that one. That one I think you can get in. There is possibly the Crescent. I think you should be able to fit the Crescent in there really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You won't get the whole thing outside, but the Crescent will definitely.
Yeah,
fit.
the Crescent will definitely fit. Let's see. What about
the Wizard?
Get the Pelican at 700. You could get most.
Well,
you could get most of it.
You get most of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking. You would need a much shorter focal length, to get all of the Pelican, the whole thing. But you should be able to get
5.
But I would definitely go after it. If not, don't go after the Cygnus Wall.
Sure.
Go for the Cygnus Wall, not the Pelican or the North American Nebula itself, but get the wall, and that would be a great shot.
Yeah, it would be.
There is, I would recommend highly use. Go to telescopius.com.
Oh, there you go. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Telescopius, I love this. It's some great planning. It's a great
it really is
planning website, and you can also upload your you can enter in and put in, if you sign up, you can sign up through your Facebook account, Google account, your own email account, but then you can enter in all of your equipment, all your cameras, scopes, focal reducers, everything, and then you put out that all together, and then it'll give you a great field of view calculator to let you know, okay, what actually fits. And what the best thing I love about Telescopius is it lets you know the best targets in your area. And it lets you know when they're going to hit, when they're rising and hit their transit, and when they hit their peak zenith, as far, and so you can really plan it. If you ever have a chance to go to check out my video of when I did 3 targets one night with the Rasa, I'm using Telescopius to plan all that out. So I would highly recommend check out Telescopius. It will give you a great amount of information and help you really plan out and let you know what targets, because you can differentiate. You can set, okay, I want to look for planetary nebula, diffuse nebula, because if you're looking for narrowband, you want diffuse nebula, and it'll give you a whole list. So and then you can then use the field of view calculator to say, okay, yeah, that'll fit, or how much can I fit into it, and stuff like that. So highly recommend that. If you get it, go check it out. It's free.
Yeah. And that's why, I use actually for planning software, I actually use something called Sky Tools. And it's different because they just came out with Sky Tools for imaging. And it's about a year old, but it's been a while. But I've always been a fan of Sky Tools because I was always able to make a nice log of when I was doing observing. I don't do a lot of observing anymore. I do mostly astrophotography at this point. But when you're doing observing, and if you're an observer, it has a really nice log. It has a place to put your time, your date, your location, your name, your seeing, your transparency, any notes you want to put in there. If you want to make a digital vocal thing, you can do that. I mean, it's pretty wild. And it'll save it, and you could download it. And if you're one of those observers that like to do programs, like if you want to do the Messier program, like I did, I got a pin floating around here that I got 100 objects in the Messier, and I observed and I cataloged, I think 102 of the 110, and they give you a pin. The Astronomical League will give you a pin. You could download all of your observations in a log under any certain list. So if it's a Caldwell, a Messier, whatever, you could sit there and download it and send that into the Astronomical League just like that. You don't have to worry about sending them your own planner or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a really, really, really cool thing for observation logging.
Now, speaking of observation, doing visual, in just about 2 weeks, Neptune will be in opposition.
Yeah. Yep.
So, which makes me it's the closest that it gets to the Earth in its
Yep.
in its orbit. So, if you're doing any visual, you want to go and check out Neptune. I believe it's around the 11th or 12th of September is when it gets closest to the Earth. So, I don't do visual myself. I'm just like you, Dan. I'm more of an imager. Yep. But if you are doing visual and you're interested in doing something like that, try that out with that 14-inch. I think you'd
Oh yeah,
you'd have a good time going after Neptune. If you know.
I have my 12-inch. I have my 12-inch Dob that I have, and if I ever actually have a place to use it, I got my 18-inch Obsession in storage.
Okay.
So I got some really cool observing, telescopes that I can use quite a bit. It's just that bringing out an 18-inch telescope in a Bortle 9 sky is just self-defeating, and I want to cry. So I just want to cry. No matter how big your aperture gets, M51 is still a smudge.
Yeah, it is. And another good target for your 14-inch right now during September, this time of year, the Dumbbell Nebula.
Yeah, sure.
M27, I believe.
M27, yep.
That's going to be a great capture for you as well, if you're looking to do narrowband. There's quite a few targets out there that are.
What about the Wizard? Wizard too.
The Wizard's out there. Yep, the Wizard is out there. The big constellations that are out right now. Because I use a book, like an observing book. But the big constellations that are out right now are Cygnus, Delphinus, the Copula, Cepheus. So there are a lot of really cool, especially like in Cygnus. You can go for the Cygnus if you're interested, and then you won't be able to get it. You won't be able to, the 14-inch, you won't be able to do this, but really good target now is the Cygnus Loop, the Veil Nebula.
Oh yeah, the whole thing.
The whole thing, and I've captured that. So, and I have captured that with my White Cat.
Yeah, so you're at 250.
Yeah, so I'm at 250.
Yeah.
So I was able to capture that last year, and it's one of my favorite targets. I'm gonna definitely go after it again this year. I'm gonna break out the White Cat and hook it up and use the Elec stream, because with that hydrogen alpha and O3, that sucker's gonna pop.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my 200 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
And just pop it on there. I got that nice Canon lens, the 200L.
Yeah.
And that'll frame that really nice.
Yeah, it'll fit really, really nice.
Yep.
So that is a definite go after, especially the Western Veil, the Witch's Broom. Definitely.
Yep. With Pickering's Triangle.
Yeah, Pickering's Triangle's right there. So you can definitely go after those. Those are my favorite. That's one of my favorite targets for this time of year. Is to go after the Veil Nebula. So I'm definitely going to break out the White Cat and do a little bit of ultra wide imaging for that and use the Elec stream. But I started using I had some really good success because I have my 126 millimeter. I actually decided because it's a 970 millimeter focal length. But when I was doing my calculations through the ASIR Pro, it was about 980 millimeter that it said. Okay. I decided to go ahead and hook up my OAG to it.
Okay.
Because I wasn't getting great guiding with even with my 60 millimeter f4 ZWO. So I did. So I hooked up my OAG, and I tell you, I got awesome guiding. It was
Really?
really awesome sub .6 guiding. So I think, now I'm going to stick with using my OAG for anything just around close to that 1,000 millimeter and higher. I'm going to stick with an OAG because I think it's going to work out really well.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that's also be said, and if you're under that 1,000 range, and I think you're right, anything over 1,000 range, you're definitely going to start seeing the advantage of an off-axis guider more and more.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much where you're going to get that 1-to-1 kind of ratio with your guidings.
Yes.
If you're at 3,400 focal length, you're going to have a 127 guider.
Yes, exactly.
So you're better off using an off-axis guider when you're up at that range.
Yes.
But I got to be honest with you. So I went back and forth with the guide scopes over the past year. I went from an Evo guide.
Yeah, those are expensive. Like $250.
$275.
$275. Yeah.
$275, and you can get them on sale for $225 during the what is it called? It's called the Dope Doublet discount. That Skywatcher does. So you can get it for $50 off for $225, and some places, I actually found I got it for. Well, I'll tell you the story about it, but I went from the Evo guide. Actually, I went from the F4 ZWO Mini.
Okay.
To the Evo guide, back to the F4.
Yeah.
Because I sold the Evo guide.
Yeah.
And then I just rebought the Evo guide again because it's so good.
Yeah.
That thing is so good. I'm telling you, because you know what, I was getting okay guiding. I was about.
So you're getting a little bit of seller's remorse and saying, "Crap, I should have never sold this thing."
Yeah, that's exactly. And I sold the 178 too. I sold it as a package.
Oh, so it is a package.
I sold it as a package. I sold it for $400 for the package.
Right.
Well, let's think of it. The 178 is like $350.
Yep, it is.
And the scope is $250. Yep. So I sold it for $400. So whatever. So I ended up buying. I found a buyer on Cloudy Nights.
Okay.
I got the Evo guide for $200.
Yep.
So the Evo guide I got for $200. He also included a dew strap.
Okay.
And a 3D printed Batinov mask for it.
Oh, nice. So
I was like, all right.
You said
for
all right.
$200.
That's a good
deal. I was
deal.
like, all right. And then I purchased the 178 again. So just the crux of the story is the difference of a good guide, scope, and camera.
Yeah.
So when you go from a ZWO F4 at 120 millimeter focal length.
Yeah, those minis. Yeah.
And a 120 mm. ZWO.
Yeah.
I had that on there. I was getting anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2, 1.3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I threw the guide scope on there with the 178, and I went down to like 0.5.
There you go.
So I should have never ever. I got pictures of because without the dither, I got a picture of a 0.36 for about 2 seconds.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, all right. So I said I should have never ever sold it to begin with.
You live and learn, man. That's same thing with me. I should have never sold my monochrome because now I'm seeing the advantages of the sensitivity, and eventually, and I just should have just stuck with it. So I'm gonna end up buying another one, but. You live and learn.
Yeah,
you live and learn.
Absolutely. You know what? But I knew better though.
Yeah.
I knew better, and I still said, all right. You know what? I'm gonna go lighter on the mount.
Yep.
And I'm gonna save the, what was it? 3/4 pound that I saved. And I said, you know what? I said I don't need this. I only need 120. And then I probably should have looked at the guide scope suitability chart, and I didn't. Before I sold it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, I just made my pictures so much more worse.
Yeah.
On purpose. I did this on purpose. I did it to myself.
Yeah.
Let's see. David says the L Extreme on the Eastern Veil was my first target with it. It's incredible.
It is.
And Scott wants to know, what off-axis guider rig do you use? I have the 174 and the ZWO OAG.
I also have the ZWO OAG, but I use the 290 MM Mini.
Well, that 174 is a monster.
It is.
I mean, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
For guiding.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. It's also great for planetary too. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I mean, you'll be fine with that.
Yeah. Totally fine.
Yeah, the 174 is more sensitive than my 178.
Yeah, and I mean, even for me, to jump from the 120 to the 290, huge difference. Oh my gosh, it was a huge difference.
Not only in pixels, but just in chip size.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It is. I mean, those guide stars now, they just went from like these little itty bitty faint dots to boom.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, and I don't know about anybody else maybe you could answer this because you're still using it, but I always had a problem with the ZWO mini scope with these halos, mad halos.
You know what? I've noticed that, and I've stopped using my 30 millimeter mini. I have gone ahead and I'm using the 60 millimeter guide scope with the RASA.
The ZWO one? Or?
Yeah, the ZWO F4 60 millimeter, because they have like a 280 millimeter focal length.
Yep.
And I'm using that with the 290. And I get 1-to-1, a less than 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
On my guiding, according to the suitability chart. And it's been fantastic. So I'm like, you know what? I might end up, I'm just going to store the little mini. I'll use it. I'll use it with the my Rokinon.
Yep.
So I'll use that with my Rokinon.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saving my mini too, because I'll throw it on my thing with my 200 millimeter lens, and I'll just throw it on there.
Yeah. So with my White Cat and that Rokinon, like you had, like having like what you're talking about. So the mini has its place. So I've discovered, the mini is for the really wide focal length rig setups, and my RASA, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that 280. I could use, if I wanted to add a little bit to add more weight, but I don't. I could use my 71 millimeter because that's a 336 millimeter focal length, but I don't need to. So this 280, it's light enough. And using it with the 290, I'm good. I'm like, this is. You're good. I'm like, this is. I'm getting I'm getting like usually like 0.5 RMS error.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is fine for me, and I'm getting 99 stars. So I'm not gonna. It ain't broke. I ain't gonna fix. So
I mean, as long as you're guiding better than you're seeing, you're good.
Yeah. It.
And the seeing where the both of us live is just about the same.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky if we're seeing 2 arc minutes at this point.
Exactly.
But I mean, I guess that's why at even 1.3 I was still getting decent stars, believe it or not. Oh, sorry, the mirror in the. Okay, so he was worried about. He knows the camera is great. I was just wondering about the rig and the mirror.
The mirror in the rig? What do you mean?
Scott, if you could kind of
clarify that a little bit.
Elaborate on that. Yeah, clarify on that. Then we'll answer the question.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for a TAC 130? For Eddie, for guiding?
For guiding?
Is that what you're asking? So if that's what you're asking, let us know. Let's see, a 130. So you're well over 1,000 millimeters in focal length.
Oh, so he's asking about the prism that's in the OAGs.
Oh, gotcha.
So the Celestron prism is much bigger than the ZWO.
Then the ZWO one's tiny, man.
Yeah, it is. It is tiny. So if you want, you can probably go ahead and use the if you have the Celestron, it'll probably give you a bit better.
It'll pick off more light.
It'll pick up more light, so it'll do better for you. Because the one thing that I also have noticed with the with my OAG, if I'm using the filter wheel,
Yep.
it acts screwy where I can't line it all up perfectly, and then everything gets knocked off center.
I hear you.
And
I've seen that
it's
before.
weird. And I've been trying to use the little thin spacers to give me a little bit more, so I can try to line it up. But it's been a pain in the butt. So actually, what I've been doing is instead of using my filter wheel, at least for right now, since I'm only using the L Extreme, is I actually been using my filter slider, the 2-inch filter slider that I use for my Rasa. You can actually I take it off, and I can use that with my refractors. And it doesn't take much, I can get about 56, 57 millimeter. Yeah, exactly. So, so I can get about 56, 57 millimeter back focus, which is it's still fine as long as you're within that 55 millimeter range.
Yeah,
and I've been using that.
If you're within a millimeter, you're fine.
Yeah. And with that, I've been getting some good success. So until I really need my filter wheel again, and I'm gonna probably end up when I get another mono camera, that's when I'll use my filter wheel. But right now, using my one-shot color, I'm just using one filter right now, so it doesn't matter.
So I'm probably about a month or so from pulling the trigger on the 294, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I think that's going to be the
you gotta love it, man. You are going to love it.
I got a QHY. Was it a 163? Is it? Yeah, 163.
163. Okay.
Which isn't a bad. I got it at a steal. I got it for like $500.
Right.
So I picked it up. Brand new for $500. It was sitting on a shelf. Nobody was buying it, so I got it for dealer cost.
Oh, nice.
So I said, just give it me. You're not selling it. You may as well make your money back. You're not going to sell it. Everyone's buying CWO. They're not buying QHYs in the US.
Right.
So I got this one. So I'm still kind of. What is it? There's something with the guide camera or something. There's a guide port or something on here or something. It's weird. Let's see, Dave Corsi. I use a 174 with the Celestron OAG and Schmick setup. It's very good. I use a 290 with a 50 millimeter guide scope on an 80. It's a nice luxury that keeps the image train together for the scopes. Yeah. So absolutely. If you could get, your rigged and keep it together. Guide scope, OAG, whatever, so you're not taking stuff off and putting stuff on, and it's definitely going to be an advantage there because you won't have to. Yeah, Mark, I know. Yeah, that's for the filter wheel, but there was something else, and I forget which camera it was. It was a QHY camera that had some sort of pinout for guiding, and it was kind of weird. It wasn't actually the 163. I know the CFW port is for the color filter wheel. But it was something else. It wasn't necessarily the 163. I'll have to look it up and show you guys.
Yeah.
David's using a CEM 40.
Ioptron. Gotta love them.
Stop it. You're just trying to make me spend more money.
I tell you, and when I'm ready, I will probably sell my AVX for my travel mount, and I will get a CEM 40, for travel. I won't bother with the CEM 25. I'll just go ahead and get a 40. And use that for travel. But it's actually, I could use my CEM 60 for travel because it's so light. It's only 30 pounds.
I know.
But you know what? I just got word that my Pier is on its way.
Apparently, Jason ordered the CEM 70.
Shut up.
Jason, we hate you again. We had to hear from Mark this.
Yeah, we hate you, Jason. Thank you.
Jason, I hope clouds are for the next year just over Arizona.
Just over your house.
Just over your house. Just one big cloud that
One
just
big
covers
cloud
everything.
That covers everything.
That's it. I'm going to send something over there. I'll figure it out. Any thoughts on selling my NGP mount for something different? Absolutely. Eddie, listen, and I'm probably going to get yelled at for this, and that's okay. But Takahashi, with their mounts and their scopes and everything, it's kind of like the same thing like ZWO. You have to use their stuff all the time. Their adapters, their mounting plates, they're just a little bit different than everything else. So you can't kind of put it, and if you got brand loyalty, that's a wonderful thing. But, you know, sometimes you like to kind of mishmash things. Like, I mean, I got a QHY, an Altair, and an AS, and a Sharp Star right on here. You know what I mean? You know, because some things do things a little bit better than others. You know, but Takahashis are awesome.
They are awesome.
But the NJP mount is great. I mean, it is a great mount. But if you're thinking about selling it, number one, I mean, your 130 is, man, that's heavy. That is a heavy scope. It's not like an Explore Scientific 127. It's got like 10 pounds on it. But you got to think about something like that. I wouldn't put it anything less than a CGX, but you know, why would you? You know,
and
if you could get,
if you're thinking about a CGX, I would look at a CEM 70.
Yeah. Yep. It's only 23 pounds, really? Okay.
Oh, well then, hey, then the CEM 40.
Yeah. You know, I mean, honestly, the NJP mount is awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you get that hooked up the right way, either with, you know, Sequence Generator Pro or Sharp Cap or whatever, and start doing decent photography. I mean, there's no reason why you can't with an NJP mount because it's got everything. So my Esprit 120 is a heavy beast. Yeah, the Esprit 20 is heavy. Esprit 120 is a heavy thing.
So I don't know if you heard me. So I'm getting my pier. It's on its way. And
yeah.
So I'm gonna have me and some buddies. I'm probably gonna do a video of me and my buddies digging the hole and getting everything everything set up. So we're gonna have to do it probably in phases where we'll dig the hole first, and I'm also gonna put a pad around it, a cement pad around it.
Now you're gonna do a dome, or are you just gonna have the pier like I have, like in the
right
backyard?
now? I'm going to just have the pier. But I am going to look at getting a rolling shed observatory.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about that for like since I met you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a rolling shed observatory because it's inexpensive. I mean, all I need to, you can buy a shed, like those resin Suncast or Rubbermaid sheds, and as long as I can set up my mount to park in the right way, so I can open and close and get my mount through and get everything through, then that's what I'm going to probably end up doing, is going that route, and because it's going to be relatively inexpensive. I would love to eventually look at doing a rolling roof shed, something like that, like a roll-off roof.
Sure, roll-off roof.
Yeah, something like that. But I have to weigh it out to see, and I might look at Sky Shed because they have plans for roll-off roof sheds. So observatories rather. So I might, if I can build one up. Relatively inexpensive compared to buying a resin shed, because those resin sheds are about $800. So if I can do something like that, around $700, $800 for a roll-off roof observatory, then I might just do that. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm just excited to get the pier. That's going to be the project for the fall. Is to dig that out, is dig 42 inches deep, because I'm going to go 42 inches down, and then bell it out for the concrete. So we'll see how it goes, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's gonna be very cool. Yeah, you know.
Produce the video.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you may as well.
May as well. Let them have some fun. You know, because I'll get me and my buddies over here, and we'll do this. And yeah, it'll be some serious comedic value. Trust me.
Absolutely. Oh man. So yeah, you know, you're gonna be surprised on, you know, how much data you're gonna collect. Now, if you could like go to bed and just let it go till 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be surprised. All of a ssudden, you're gonna be like, "Wow, I got like 27 hours already."
Yeah.
You know, and you get. I mean, I didn't even know. I mean, I didn't even know how many hours of the Pelican I had until I edited it all up. And I right-click the files and see how many files I got, times it by 5 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I got like 300 files here. So, you know, I got 1,500 minutes, man. You know, it's crazy. So you know, but I mean, I don't know how much of it is usable. I mean, I'm hoping that most of it is. But again, it's awesome when you can just sit there and you could like watch your TV and watch your monitor.
Yep.
Hang out with the wife, hang out with the kids.
Yep.
Whatever, and let this thing shoot its thing. And finally, you know, if you want to go outside for Meridian flips at 11:30, that's what I do with most things. Go outside, look at it, make sure nothing snags, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Let's see, there is no way I could do what I want with this huge rig if it wasn't for the scope buggy cart that I have for it.
Oh yeah, I had a scope buggy I still have it. It's in my garage now. So
Eddie said, "When you're welcome, when you finish with your pier, you could come do mine in Pennsylvania."
Only if you come over to my place and start helping me dig.
Yeah, really. You make sure you got a picture like I got with a Mexican guy going like buried in there.
Yeah.
What else? What else you got going? Oh man, I told you I went to the doctor today, so I'm like got stuck on a treadmill for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, doing that stress test.
Everything's fine, but it's just a preemptive strike, I guess.
Yep.
And you know, just making sure you know that the 50-year-old ticker is still ticking right. And well, not 50 yet, but it will be 50 in a couple of months. But
yeah, man.
And he said I have a post-hole digger. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I've got one of those. Trust me, going down 42 inches, man.
Yeah, mine's name was Carlos.
I'm actually gonna go to Home Depot and rent an auger, like a 2-man auger, and you know, get it down in there for and just go down, start digging that sucker out, man. So if I could find the extensions that you can hook up to it so you can go deeper, so that way it would not hand shuffling as much as we can. I mean, that'll be
Oh yeah. Oh, we shoveled the whole thing. We shoveled it we shoveled the whole thing. And when it got too deep, we got like these little buckets. We were scooping out dirt.
Scooping out dirt
with like one of those like kitty sand buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were using. We were pulling that up.
Jeez.
Does the Celestron off-axis guider have a helical focuser? I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't.
No, I don't think it does.
No, it does not.
Yeah.
I had one. I had one and I sold it because I just wasn't using my SCT anymore.
Yeah.
But
I had one back in the day.
Yeah. But
when I had an SCT.
It does not have a helical focuser.
No. Yeah, the ZWO 68 does. I'm not sure about the 4842. Does the 4842 have a helical focuser? The ZWO, the regular one?
No, they don't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
ZWO,
is there an attack?
You have to buy it. It's a separate.
Yeah, you got to buy it, right? Yeah, it's a separate thing.
Yep.
Hey, Dad, look behind you. Something's behind you. I guess your son's floating around in the background, maybe.
Who knows? He probably is. I know my. My dog,
George says his Celestron has a helical focuser.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know which one that is.
Yeah.
Because the one that I had didn't have one. There's somebody. There he is. There he is.
Hello, my spawn.
Come on in, man.
You say hello.
Where's the shark? Where's Sharknado?
To the world.
What?
You gonna wave to the world?
Hello.
Hello. How's it going? You're the new star on YouTube.
Yeah, you're famous, huh?
You call me Spawn?
Yeah, my spawn.
you were spawned.
Pick these two up for me.
Come on, Titan.
Go outside. Go do your thing.
That's funny.
Oh yeah. Live TV.
Oh God.
Live on YouTube, man. Live TV.
Yeah. Just make sure when you're ready to put that concert post that you have a huge footer. Oh, the huge footer. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, so just make sure that you got, when you put your concrete post down.
Yeah, I'm going to have this huge footer. It's going to be
about out the bottom.
Yeah, down at the bottom. It's I was looking at it. You can buy them from Home Depot. It's about 30 inch diameter.
Wow.
Something like that. Something like that. Because I'm going to use a 12. I'm going to use a 12-inch diameter sonotube.
Yeah, that's what I used. Yep.
So, but yeah. So we're gonna actually, so the whole hole itself is going to be just about 32 inches in diameter, just so we can get the footer down.
Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be crazy, man. It's fun, man. It took a while to get it done, but I mean, 2 days is what it took. Just to make the, and then a week for it to dry.
Yeah, before it to dry.
But so just make sure you get some nice J bolts in there, and make sure that they're spaced right for your pier.
Yep.
And you'll be good, man. It's good, dude. I'm telling you, it's gonna be awesome.
I gotta locate some J bolts. I think I can get those at Home Depot.
You should be able to. Yeah, that's where I got mine.
Okay. And then I'll make my template out of plywood. Once I get my pier, I'll make that template out of plywood. Because
you don't even need that. Use a piece of cardboard.
Oh yeah, well that too.
Because depending on the plywood, you don't want that sinking into your soft concrete.
That's true. That's true. But if you use cardboard, if it stays there, it stays there.
Oh no, it'll stay there. You just take the cardboard, you lay your pier on top of the cardboard.
Yep.
You make the holes.
Yep.
Lay it down. You cut out the holes.
Yep.
You lay it down. You put the J bolt in there. Yep. You put the J bolt in there. And that's it. You're good to go.
Good to go. There it is.
Yeah, you just gotta make your own template, Mark. You get like a Cheerios box and use the other side.
Yeah.
That's all. Scott has done a ton of concrete work over the years. Been there, done that. Mark said piers don't come with a template.
No, they don't.
No, they should though.
They should.
They really should.
They should, but they don't.
They should. Some like cardstock paper. I mean, come on. When you spend the $1,500 on a pier, man, they could give you a piece of cardboard.
Exactly.
Come on.
So yeah,
Cocoa Pebbles box.
So I'm going to the Ioptron is the Ioptron permanent pier, and I think it's not solid. So I'm going to. Does it make sense to fill it up with sand?
Some people do.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Mine's just like it's an enclosed tube. I couldn't really do it.
Okay. I'll have to take a look at it when I get it to see if it's all enclosed or if I can.
Yeah, mine's totally closed. I want to say it's my pier's from Observational Astronomy.
Okay.
I think it's called, and it's just solid. It comes with it has an electric junction box in it. But it's decent. And I gotta thank Dan Janicek, a friend of mine who I still owe him like about 18 dinners or something. But let's see. Tim Connolly sanded his. We all saw the video of him doing his stuff. And the pictures.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, with his Sky Shed pod. Yeah, so.
Yep. Looks really, really good.
It looks great.
George said he's just gonna put my pier on a tree stump when I cut the tree down. There you go. That's the way you do it, man. That ain't moving anywhere. As long as it stays level, you're good.
I tell you, if I had a tree stump that big,
Yeah,
in my
really.
backyard, now
You got to get a redwood.
you dead. Get a sequoia.
Rennie Hounsel is on. I'm sorry I butchered your name. I know, but she's been coming on the last couple of weeks. She's been coming on. Question about the best light pollution filter for a modded Canon. Also, I have the L Enhance and was told it's not good for a modded Canon. Is that true? Well, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to do some research on that with modded Canons. I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to give you a BS answer.
But if you got but I've got an EOS clip.
Yep.
CLS from Astronomics.
Yep.
That works just fine. It's mine, but my Canon, I have an 1100D. It's not modded, but I think it'll work great for you.
Yeah, it just about make sure, depending on what camera you got, they do make ones for full frames and ones for crop.
Yeah.
So make sure you get the right one.
Yeah.
But yeah, those clip-in filters, I actually have a couple.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna look into. Let us look into it, and we'll find out about non-modded Canons with the L Enhance, because I know that they take the infrared filter out when you do the modification. So the only thing I could think of, because letting the H alpha through, it's probably going to make the H alpha maybe a little bit overpowering, is what I'm thinking of. I could be wrong with that, but let me take a look into that.
Okay.
Tim, hey guys, I just popped in. Any technical difficulties with this broadcast? Our list of people we hate grows by one. Yes, Tim, we had, because I'm running the show tonight. Yes, we had some tech. That's part of the comic relief of the show, I guess, is the technical difficulties.
That's true. That is.
Try putting a bunch of roofing sealant on all the bolts and base for the pier.
Okay.
Hey, that's a good point. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Have a 60D and was looking into clip-in filters. L Extreme should work great with a modded can.
Okay.
That's what George said. Tim.
Oh snap.
On the pier to prevent rust.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yep. Actually, that's something that I might do in mine. I should probably do that before it starts getting crazy rain.
Yeah.
Roofing sealant. All right.
Okay. I like that.
All right. That yeah, it's a good idea, because you know what? Sooner or later, hopefully sooner rather than later, I will be making the move out of a Bortle 9 Sky to maybe a Bortle 5.
Oh, really?
So I'm hoping, as long as COVID is nice to everybody, I'm hoping within maybe a year.
Okay, making the move to the Carolinas.
I'm hoping. I can't do New York no more, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I was out, and they sucked me back in. They sucked me back in.
Thank God.
But I can't do this. $2,700 mortgage payment. I can't. It's crazy.
It's nuts, man. And I don't know how anybody can live in New York and near New York City, and in
it's dreadful, man.
In that rent and mortgage payments and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I have a house. It's 1,200, I think, square feet. On a 60 by 100 piece of land, so it's 2/10 of an acre.
2/10. That's it.
2/10 of an acre.
Of an acre.
Not 2/10. 2/10 of an acre. And COVID is a great excuse to get an Astro compound.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But it cost us it was $324 for the 2/10 of an acre.
Yeah.
And it was like $2,280 mortgage payment a month.
Gee.
Now it's up to like 2,600.
Dude, yeah. I'm
So I mean, literally, I'm an hour away from. If we decide to live where we plan on living,
Mhm.
I'm an hour away from Portal 3,
okay.
and I think the what was it? I have a picture of it. What was it? I want to say I was over at 21 SQM somewhere.
Oh.
It's like 21. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh wow.
I took a picture of the thing. Nobody was gonna believe me. I was like, click.
Wow, that's
So I
awesome.
took a picture of it. Yeah, the guy that runs the Charlotte Astronomers Group, which, believe it or not, is not really in Charlotte. It's actually in South Carolina. But the guy's name is Ken,
Mhm.
and he showed me around their area. And let me tell you, that facility is awesome. It's got beds. It's got it's got red lights all over the place. It's got you can buy parts of the land
Mhm.
to put your own dome up there, and they charge you a
Nice.
nominal fee. I mean,
Nice.
it's awesome. It's awesome, and it's a Portal 3.
That is beautiful. Oh man, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and they have internet there, so you can do everything.
Yep.
And if anything goes wrong, it's only an hour drive.
Hour drive. So you can do some.
That's it.
Basically, you can do some remote imaging,
Yeah,
and have everything set up right there, man. I'm loving that. That's awesome.
yeah, man.
That would be
4+.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's one thing I know that Arizona and a couple other places sell land plots for astrophotography use,
Yep.
and it's not cheap, but it's not very expensive either. But if something goes wrong, you gotta jump on a plane, man. If you're from New York, unless if I call Jason and pay him money so he could run up there and find out what's going on, But I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
they've got a few places, like in New Mexico and Arizona and stuff like that. Where
Yeah, New Mexico. That was the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Sorry,
in New
not
Mexico.
Arizona.
And I think even Arizona too, where they've got places where you can buy a spot. They have this huge observatory, roll-off roof observatory, and they have
Yep.
like dozens of piers, and
Yep.
you can set up your own stuff, and you pay them
Yep.
the fee, and excuse me, and you can then do, and they'll monitor it for you. You have to pay.
Oh, that's cool.
You have to pay for personal insurance for your
So-
rig and stuff.
But that's fine. I mean, but I'm sure they charge you a maintenance fee or something for them to watch.
Fee, and but you can definitely do something like that. So I was thinking about doing. I was actually looking into that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Let's see, Scott, I am 90 minutes away from Cherry Springs. Another. Oh, there you go. The hated person list grows. Let's see. That's great, Scott. 4 hour. Eddie's 4 hours from Cherry Springs. Smaller mortgage equals more telescope equipment.
yeah.
No mortgage is even more equipment. Someday car payment going away in October. Astro Smart Hands Rental. My friend does that in California and Australia.
See,
I know
there's so many
a friend of mine.
people doing this stuff, man.
Yeah, my friend Mike had Dragon Rock Observatory, I think he called it. And that was in Arizona, I think. If I might be corrected, he might be watching. Maybe he'll tell us. But
Sorry,
he had that for a while. And what's
I
that?
got the brat here. Come here, Titan.
Titan?
Yeah, Titan. He's the baby, so he's the brat.
Nah, it's okay. I already feel like cheating, laying in bed, controlling my scope in the backyard.
I don't
I don't either, man.
Be right back.
Yep, I don't feel. Listen, let me tell you something. This is where I sit and control my telescope. This is where I sit. I sit here and I put on my computer screen, and then you know what I do? I make sure everything's good, do my polar alignment, just a little tweak it a little bit, and then I go in the living room and I put a timer on for a meridian flip, and then I go outside for the meridian flip, and then I go to bed. I once asked a question, what do people do while imaging? And they said sleep. Yes, absolutely. We sleep.
Yes, we sleep.
Yes, we sleep. I'm telling you. Actually, if you look on one of my videos on AstroWorld, way in the beginning, before it was like AstroWorld, it says, watch Dan image, and if you stay long enough, you can watch him sleep. And it's me in the chair like this for 3 hours. I'm like this. you know. Can I explain the meridian flip? Okay. So the meridian is a little line in the sky. Depending on where you are, it's different everywhere. You could actually get it in any of your planetary software. You could actually lay that on there. And it's where your object kind of crosses that line. And when it does cross that line, your weights are going to turn out to be higher than your telescope, which you don't want.
Right.
Okay? So the telescope knows where your weights are going to be. So what it does is when it crosses a meridian, it will flip the telescope and turn it around. So the weights are now going like this instead of what you don't want is like this, because now your telescope's going to smash.
Right.
Okay? So that's what it is right there. So it just moves the weights on the other side. So the motors are now pushing the weights on a down angle.
Yep.
That's all it is.
So here, if I'm share my screen here.
Sure. You got one up?
Yeah. So this is Sky Safari Pro. If you can see my screen, Dan.
I'm gonna make it full screen. Give it a second. Yep. There you go.
So in here, it's an imaginary line. Can you see right there? It says meridian.
Yep.
So it's this line that goes through the Earth, kind of, or around the Earth, and
it's a galactic sphere. I think it's called.
Yeah. And
celestial sphere.
Okay. So as you rotate, as your mount rotates, and it's following its target, and when it's going to get to a certain point where it's going to get close to the meridian, and sometimes some mounts it'll go over maybe a few degrees past the meridian, but after that, then your weights.
Yep.
But after that, like Dan, you were saying, your weights are going to get higher than your telescope. And
correct.
So what you're going to have to do is you're going to, if you don't have, like, say, the ASIR Pro or SGP, Sequence Generator Pro, or some application that does, I think even Nina does an automatic meridian flip, you're going to have to actually go outside and re-rotate your RA axis and your deck, and then retarget and then reacquire your target, and then restart your guiding. Because if it gets too high and then your telescope gets too low, eventually your telescope is going to hit the legs of your tripod. Unless you have a pier or something.
You want to see a meridian flip?
Yeah. So let me stop sharing here.
I'll show you a meridian flip. Okay, so this is a meridian flip. I'll show it to you in a second. Let's see. Remote desktop. All right. So let me just make sure we got sound. Yeah. Okay. So I actually recorded. This will be in the video that I got coming up. So right now you just see black screen, right? You don't see anything else?
Let's wait. Yep, now I just see black screen. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the video and the lights will go on. I got a timer going off on what I'm reading for, and when the lights go on, I'll turn the light on a little bit, because what it does, it's automated. It's all automated. So
Yep.
It takes a picture, it does a flip, it takes another picture and plate cells to the first picture, which is
Yep,
basically what
exactly.
it's doing. So my light's going on. You'll see when the light goes on a telescope, you'll see that the weights are on the right side. And if I would keep on tracking, the weights would go higher, right? The weights would actually be
Yep.
going higher, because right now the weights are going from I guess from down to up, I guess you would say, or right to left, or left to right, I'm sorry. So it's swinging left to right. So now, there it goes. So now it's going to flip, and it's going to move the telescope, so it's still pointing at the right object. And it's going to flip, so the weights are now on the left side.
Yep.
And so now the motors are still going left to right, from left side to down and around to the right. So now that the weights will always be underneath the scope. And that's what a meridian flip is. And that's it.
Yep, nice vid.
And that's it. And I also got like the computer side of it showing, so showing what it does. And that's it. So now the weights are on the left side, scope's on the right side. Hopefully, right now it's probably taking another picture and seeing where it's at. Now it's going to plate solve to the first picture it took before it moved.
Yep.
That's it. And there we go. There we go. And we're back.
Can you get software to use with the Eagle Pro? Yes, Sequence Generator Pro.
Can you get software?
To do the Meridian flip for
well,
you. SGP will do the Meridian flip for you. Will it not?
Yeah, but it's got to work through. It's got to work through something else. So like, I know it works through for me EQ mod. I don't know what do you use? Do you use SGP or
no? I use ASIR.
Use ASIR. So it's got to have some sort of pointing software. Also, SGP does not have its own inherent pointing software. So it does work through another program. Either for Celestron users out there, there's a program out there called CPWI.
Yeah.
There's Pinpoint, Pinpoint LE, and Plate Solve and EQ mod.
Yeah.
So EQ mod will run the flip for you. So the resulting image after the flip is reversed 180 degrees. Yes.
Yeah.
So Dave, you're exactly right. So the meridian flip, obviously, because your camera has changed orientation, it'll be flipped.
Yes.
Not only are you flipping the telescope, you're actually flipping the camera. So yeah, you're exactly right, Dave, when you say if you're using PixInsight and you're doing or even Deep Sky Stacker, it will correct for that and it will align your frames.
Yes.
So you don't get upside down.
Yeah, it'll do a star.
Right,
It'll do a star alignment and match up your frames.
Yep. It'll match up everything. So that's not a problem.
Yep.
I know some people out there say that you get gradients on the other side of the chip, but I've yet to see that.
I've never noticed it on mine.
I've never seen that. But Eddie said, nice, thanks. I use SGP on the Eagle 3. Yeah, so do I, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. I love my Eagle. I love it. I love it. I think it's it's if you want to use software other than a Raspberry Pi kind of software that the ASIR uses, or now StellarMate came out with the new. They came out with a new one.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I heard.
Hopefully they improved it because I heard it was.
No, I heard it sucks just as bad as the first one. so I don't know. I purchased the first one.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get the ASIR Pro, and I swear I think during the video I threw it. It was me and Tim Cowell.
Okay.
I threw it. I said, "Don't buy it. It's annoying." And let's see. Eddie said, "Good night, all. I'm getting ready to go to bed soon too because running on a treadmill for 20 minutes was not good for me. I just found out how out of shape I really am." So, Scott's like, "Yeah, I'm hooking the Eagle 3 Pro with the CGXL mount. That's going to be awesome."
Yep.
So, what percentage would you say is gathering data versus processing data? Ooh, that's a good question, Tim.
Yeah.
It really depends on the user.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't know when to stop gathering data. They just
Exactly.
gather data for
Yeah, they
years.
do. They just keep gathering it.
But if you take like I would say, if you take a 30-hour shot, let's say of like my 30-hour shot of the Heart Nebula that I did,
Hmm.
that took about 10, maybe 8 hours to process overall the whole
Overall,
thing.
the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, with stacking 30 hours worth of data,
Yep.
DBing everything, drizzling everything,
Yeah.
all the image integration stuff. That took the most. Once I was done with the image integration and the drizzle integration,
Yeah.
it moved
that,
fast
and,
after
and,
that.
and that's when you're using a monochrome because
Yeah,
now with me, I use one-shot color cameras. So for me, my whole post-processing is not like that because I only have because I usually gather maybe 10 to 12 hours worth of data, depending
yep,
on the image. Whereas with a monochrome and you're using either LRGB or narrowband filters, you have to gather all that information as well as all the calibration files, at least the flats, and biases and stuff like that. Whereas with the
sure,
one-shot color, you simply just have one filter to deal with, whatever that filter you use. So you just have that one set of calibration files along with your light frames. For me, if I would gather, say, 12 hours worth of data, doing all the crunching with my computer, also your computer and how strong your computer is and how fast it is, I could probably crunch through things and start getting to work on my stuff, and it would probably take me 3 hours.
yeah,
3, maybe 4 hours. I'm really picky when
yeah,
it comes to my post processing, and I'm not an expert in it still. I'm still learning a lot. And I make mistakes. So there are times where I have to go back and redo a lot of things before I feel comfortable in actually even demonstrating or posting it out there. But usually for me, with a one-shot color and a single filter, maybe between 2 to 4 hours of post-processing, depending on the target and what I was doing.
yeah. I gotta say, using the DSLR on that picture of the Andromeda Galaxy we showed in the beginning of the program,
Yeah.
processing that as a one-shot color,
Mm-hmm.
what a piece of cake!
Yeah.
What a
It is.
I keep telling people, oh yeah, but you got a debayer and blah 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 and all this stuff. It does it all for
Does it
you
all for
now.
you. It does it all for you.
I'm
Now,
like, oh man.
yeah, and you make a good, and someone they made a good point. Scott also made a good point. It also depends on your F number as far as how long you're going to be capturing data.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
I don't know if that's the F number he was talking about,
Yeah.
but I think he was talking about the 4-letter word F. But, that's why the Google face.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. Go ahead. Talk about
Yeah,
the,
so basically your F
number.
ratio. So if you're imaging and you have a short focal length telescope, you usually have fast telescopes. You have a much smaller F ratio or much smaller f-stop number, usually like between 5 and lower, usually somewhere like that. So you can capture data maybe only a few hours worth of really good data. Whereas with anything maybe F7 and up, it's going to take you longer. Your exposure length is going to probably be longer. With my 126 millimeter, it's at an F7, 7.7. And usually my exposures, I'm usually doing at minimum, I would say 5-minute exposures. On mine. Usually I'm going between 5 to 10 minutes or longer. So, and whereas if I was doing it with a much shorter focal length telescope, it would probably take me half that amount of time.
Yeah, sure.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
And with my RASA going at F2, it would be even shorter amount of gathering data. It would be even shorter.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And just like Scott with his Hyperstar on
Yeah, if you have a
on the
Hyperstar,
C14,
it would
easy.
take so much. It's so much shorter
Sure.
amount of time. So it really depends on. You have to think about that and take that into account as far as your f-stop and your scope, because that's going to really dictate how much not processing, but how much data you're going to gather or need, how long your exposure, those single exposures are going to be. So you have to take those things into account.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because when you're shooting at f2 or faster.
Yeah.
I mean I mean I'm shooting at what, f5 on my on my scope natively.
Yeah.
So but I don't mind going from 5 to 2.
Yeah.
I mean it's going to make a big difference.
It is
but
you know what?
But you know what? I'm happy. At f2, I'm just worried about my guiding at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Because
can
capture at f2. You can get an hour's worth of data or hours worth of data probably within 30 minutes or to an hour.
Yeah.
Where you can get or that equivalent of 30 minutes to an hour probably equal out to maybe 5 hours on an f5 scope. So
yeah.
Oh, we'll be right back. The dogs are wanting back in, so I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. That Tim said that's why I don't use the 2800 f10. A Hyperstar would be awesome. That would especially at that focal length. Yeah, it would be awesome. What do you give up with a Hyperstar? Well, you got to remember that you're no longer at 2800 millimeters. You're shooting at f2, so you're down to probably about 700. So you're getting a wider field of view. You're not going to be getting those nice, if you want tiny planetaries or tiny galaxies anymore. You're now down to a 700 millimeter focal length. So that's definitely something that you want to think about when you're using a Hyperstar, because you are dropping your focal length quite a bit. So instead of getting those nice small galaxies that you might have gotten at 2800 millimeters, you're not going to get that at 700.
Yep.
Mark said he was looking at a Rasa. Then my AC took a dump. There goes $6,000.
Oh,
that's an expensive AC, man.
Yeah, especially in Arizona, man.
Oh yeah, you got central air, so
yep.
Hyperstar's around 1600.
Yeah,
that's about right. Filters get complicated at f2. Yeah, you got to get specialized filters when you're shooting that fast. You're definitely going to get some light shifting.
Yeah. The ones that I actually, because I don't have the high speed, the quote unquote high speed beta f2 filters, which are about between about $700 for the 1 1/4 and just under $1,000 for the 2-inch.
Jeez.
So what they've been recommending for me and others like me who have Rasas and Hyperstars, that we've been using 12 nanometer.
Yep.
Narrowband filters. You can go probably, which is what I was talking about earlier with the L Enhanced, not the L Enhanced, but L Extreme, 7 nanometers. And so far it's working great. If I'm doing just a standard natural color shot. If I wanted to use APP or PixInsight to split the channels, or I don't know right now because I'm having some issues. I've been having some funky issues. I'm thinking it's shifting, but I have to, like I said, I'm going to try it again with the Soul Nebula to see if I'm actually getting shifting or not. Or maybe I've just got some crappy data.
It's possible.
So yeah. You could go, and this is what I heard from the team at Arizona. You could go down to not F7, but 7 nanometer with a Hyperstar in a Rasa.
Okay.
So there you go. So you don't have to necessarily spend a lot of money on those specialized filters, you can get away with, a bit good quality, but slightly less expensive filters if you just get the right bandpass bin, so.
Yeah. So Sean Nielsen popped on from Visible Dark.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so he's on there. So hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
And if you guys don't know what Visible Dark is, go check it out.
Yeah.
He's got some great videos.
He's got some great videos on Pix Insight. I've been actually watching a few of those. So
yeah, he does some great stuff, great work, and he's got a nice sense of humor.
Yeah.
So that's always nice to see. so go check him out over at Visible Dark on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's got some really good stuff.
He really
there.
does.
Let's see. How about shooting with? He's laughing. How about? Sorry about texting you so much the other day, Sean. Those really weren't meant for you, man. I'm sorry. He probably thinks, "Oh man, who is this guy?" He's texting me. But how about shooting with? Hey, they're still having that sale, Mark. By the way. So how about shooting with a one-shot color and monochrome and then combining the images? Absolutely. Do it. Try it.
Yeah.
It's great. Me and a friend of mine were doing it. I had the mono camera, he had the color camera. We both had the same chip. We both had the KAF. He had an old color CCD camera. And we both had 80 millimeter scopes. Threw it on there, bunched it together, and it worked great.
Nice.
You got the lumen. I just did luminance. That's all I did was luminance.
Okay.
That's all I did. That's it. And then he did color, and that was it. And we popped it back together. Oh, it was great, man. I'm telling you, if you have a chance to do that and set up two rigs and do it, it will save you so much time. And with the mono luminance on the RGB frame, whew. I gotta find the frame. It's somewhere. It was like 5 years ago. I gotta find it. But it's awesome. It's possible. You could do it, and it's great. It takes some time, effort, and perseverance, but you could do it.
Nice.
Absolutely. I don't think ZWO has an APS-C mono, do they? Mono camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure they do. Sure they do.
Yeah.
I know that SBIG just came out with a APS-C CMOS camera.
Okay.
So they're getting into the CMOS field finally after like missing the boat big time, but they're gonna get on. Tim said, "Thanks for the info. I enjoy tuning in. It's 11 p.m. in Indiana.
Yeah.
You all be blessed." I think the 1600 is. I believe you're right, Dave. I think the 1600 is crop sensor.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, good. So I don't have to ruin the video then.
Yeah, it's it's a 4/3, so it's not a.
It's 4/3.
4/3, so it's not a crop.
But I know they make one though.
But I'm looking, and actually, I don't think they make it anymore. They don't.
Is it
I don't
discontinued?
believe they make a crop mono anymore. Because the 6200, that's a full frame.
That I know.
And all of the others, the 183 is a 1-inch. Yeah, no. At least they don't have it out in the market anymore. They may have used to have a crop mono, but they don't anymore. Interesting.
Huh. We stand corrected.
Yeah, so the majority of what ZWO has right now are color. They've got the 26.
Yeah, well,
they've got the 6200 mono, the 1600, and the 1800, and the 183. Everything else is a color. So they only have 3 mono cameras.
Wow.
And they've got maybe 7 colors, 7 one-shot colors. So yeah.
I really thought they had one.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't.
Wow.
But
all right.
if anybody from ZWO or has any influence in ZWO, I would be very curious to know if they're going to be working on a future successor to the 1600.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
I
coming.
know they're doing a lot of great work with the ASIR and ASIR Pro and all the software and everything. But I would love to know, if they have a new mono, reasonably priced mono, not a full frame, because the 6200 is just way too expensive for me. But I would love to hear if they've got what they've got on the horizon. But there's so many really cool innovations, especially with in this hobby, that they've come out with in the past, 2-3 years. I mean, they keep coming out with all this new cool stuff. So.
Yep, absolutely. But I'm kind of APS-C mono. Let's see. No, it's not a crop. I'm trying to see if anyone's making crop sensors anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't see it. I don't see a lot in it.
George is saying that he says he thinks they're working on a mono 2600, and
that'd be interesting.
If that's the case, then the 2600 is a crop sensor, which would be cool. If they bring that out with with mono, that would be pretty cool.
And this is the ICX. I think that's a crop sensor. Let's see.
Yeah, backlit to boot. Yeah, no kidding. And it has I like the 2600 because it also has the tilter. It has the which is really nice, which would be really cool for people like me who have like the Rosas. Some of the Rosas, they tend to have a slight tilt, so it'd be really cool to get. No Bader is working on a
I thought that came out.
No, it's still out. I think they're still in development.
Okay, I thought that came out.
Yeah, right. I think they're still in development for the filter for the filter slider with the tilt, with the tilt correction, with the tilter. But that's going to be awesome if ZWO does do the 2600. So I might end up just wait for a while and not get another 1600 and just hold my horses and see what happens maybe in the next year or so.
Yeah, Scott, was like tilter in the camera. Some of the newer cameras are coming with a tilt plate.
Yeah, with a tilt plate, yes.
So you could kind of, screw it in and out so you could flatten out your chip in relation to the rest of your optics.
Okay.
So.
Oh, Jason's saying that the 2600 chip doesn't.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Mono.
Yeah.
Doesn't come in a mono from Sony. Well, maybe they'll come up with some other thing. So.
Rainy Hounsel, if a corrector plate is not centered correctly, will it cause focus issues? Yeah, it could. Correctors are very finicky. And if you decide to take it off and not mark it, or if it's not marked to begin with, you could definitely run the risk of not being in focus. Yeah, absolutely. So if you're messing around, what I do when I'm cleaning correctors, what I do is before I take the corrector off, I'll unscrew the housing bracket, and what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of liquid whiteout,
okay,
and I'll run it around the side of the mirror, so part of the whiteout gets on the rim of the telescope and the other part gets on the rim of the mirror, so I know exactly how to put it back when it's done cleaning. Okay, so that's kind of a way, and whiteout comes right off, and it's being hidden by the bracket anyway, so it doesn't bother any of the optics at all.
Okay.
But yeah, so definitely make sure, especially if you're cleaning correctors or you're doing some cleaning to your primary, if you're doing it at all. Number one, be very careful. Number two, just make sure that you know how to put the corrector back the correct way, if that makes any sense. ZWO sells the tilter too. Yep, they do have.
They do have the tilter too, and my only thought is and the only bummer for that is that I have these filters, these 2-inch filters, and I don't know how it all works together.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a way that it all works together with filters, then great. Then I could possibly look into something like that, but I just don't know. But I think that I could use a tilter, just to work on that.
You need a tilter, brother.
Yeah, I do.
We saw that the other night, man.
Yes. And actually, no, and I ended up taking off the Rasta, and it turned out that one of my rings was loose.
Oh, okay, good.
So I just disconnected everything and reseated the ring and tightened it back down. And now it's when I sent it through CCD Inspector, now it still has a slight tilt, but it wasn't as bad as it was before.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
It was visually bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. But no, just reseating it and getting everything, and then just taking off that camera and just reseating it properly.
I mean, thank God it was just that, and it wasn't the actual.
Yeah, no.
Or something with the Rasa.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, it turned out fine. So.
Eric, you also have your back focus distance to deal with.
Yes, you do, because that's a big one, because you have to deal with that, because I think it's 29 millimeter on the Rasa, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
All I know is I just learned recently it's like 130 or something for the edge, or 103 millimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
It changes nothing. The 11 millimeter ring on that is to create the 17.5, so it keeps all the back off focus the same. Really nice. So with the tilter.
With the tilter. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's never know. I might have to take a look. I might have to consider at least checking it out, see how much it costs. If it's only like $35 or is it pretty inexpensive? I may go. It's worth me grabbing and just testing it out.
Actually, David put it up. It's $35.
Okay.
So.
And there you go. And I'll have to take that. I'll have to take a look into that. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. So I think we're going to close it up, Eric.
Okay.
I'm falling asleep.
Yeah. Nope. I hear you, brother.
It's 11 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
And next week we'll definitely be a little bit more lively, or I'll be a little bit more lively. Eric's always lively. But we appreciate everybody coming down and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Yep.
And keep on coming back. And I know Eric's going to have his video coming up soon.
Yep. I'll have more videos coming up, and wait for the comedy of me putting in my pier.
There you go. And I'm going to have 2 videos. I'm going to have one on the Pelican and one on the North American, hopefully.
Awesome.
And treadmill. Yes, I know. Thank you. But so that being said, so next Wednesday, maybe actually Friday or Saturday, weather permitting, maybe I'll do some live streaming. I've been saying that for 3 weeks now. But hopefully get some live streaming of an imaging session. And 2 clear nights coming up in Chicago starting tomorrow.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm doing some imaging. It's gonna be
nice. Well, that's hitting New York Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Friday I have I teach astrophotography / visual astronomy classes. So I have a job that I'm going out to Eastern Long Island to teach a guy how to use his Celestron. I think he's got a 6SE.
Yeah.
And then Saturday I think is all me.
There you
I
go.
think so. But I'm still imaging Friday. I'm going to image while I'm teaching it. I'm going to let it run.
There you go.
And I'll bring my laptop with me. Have laptop will image.
Yeah. Hey, good night, guys. Hey, Jason, don't worry
Yes.
about it, man. You know, you got to work, man. So do your thing. Do your thing.
Absolutely, man.
You got to make that. You got to make that money, man. You got a little one coming.
Yeah, really, man. Get on the ball, man, will you?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but really,
exactly.
Jason, thank you so much for all the work that you do. You know, you on and off the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we couldn't do it without you. And it shows tonight that we can't do it without you. But, you know, it'll be better for me next week, you know. But, you know, again, get home safe.
Yeah, that's
do
what
your
matters.
job, and you know, and you know, Eric and I will still be here when you get
Exactly.
back.
Exactly.
So, and that being said, have a good night, guys.
Yep.
And remember, keep imaging, keep educating, keep having fun. And we'll see you next week on AstroWorld TV. Have a good night.
Good skies, everybody.
Take care.